Orc, Okay, so we're gonna sit and talk about Cyberpunk 2077. I know it's the biggest thing to talk about right now, and there's just a few things on my mind that I kind of just have to talk. I just have to get it off of my chest. So, now people are saying that this game's been in development since 2012. If you want to consider the announcement since in development, yes, but at the same time, no. Because 3 years after that came out, Witcher 3 came out, and the DLCs for all of that continued on into the next year, into 2016. So, I want to say bare minimum that this game was worked on, I would want to say at least 5 years. Let's say they had a smaller team working on all the Witcher DLC while they were ramping up, like concept design, storyboarding, script writing, all the pre-stages before you even start on the actual graphical and gamer interface of the game. We're talking about like the bases, the building blocks. Was maybe 2015. We'll give it that. So we're looking at around 5 years of developmental time. Okay, bare minimum, 5 years of dev time. Okay, that should be more than enough. But then they announced the release date would be in 2019. And it got pushed back to April. Okay, that's fine. And it got pushed back to September. Okay. I am one to be patient when it comes to video games, especially if they're being pushed back. Because if they're being pushed back, that means there has to be some kind of issues they found at the last minute. This happened notoriously with Gears of War 3, where they had to push it back twice because at the last minute some QA testers found some game-breaking bugs and they wanted to flatten those out. Fine, okay. A delayed game would be better than a rushed game. Then it got pushed back to November. Okay. My little flashing light is wanting to turn on. Then it got pushed back to December. Okay, that light is on. I am not joking when I say that as soon as it got pushed back to December, I started to officially worry. Now, of course, we know all the stories. We've seen all the glitch videos. We've seen all the issues. When Sony, who has a draconic refund policy, a draconic way they handle their online store, says that they're going to pull the game off the store and start issuing refunds, no questions asked. If you bought it, if it's in your account, you get a refund. You might have done something bad there. Now, first and foremost, before anybody wants to put in their two cents, not everybody can afford a gaming PC, or at least a gaming PC that can run this thing. Well, I can build a gaming PC that can run 60 frames a second at 1080p for $700. Good for you. I've mentioned it numerous times. I have talked with the common person. They can't afford a $400, not even $400, they can't afford around a $700 gaming PC. A dedicated gaming PC. We're not talking about a laptop here, an actual tower with interchangeable parts. We're talking about the common every person that fights to buy a PS4 or an Xbox One right now for $300. Those are your target audience right now, seeing that they have close to over 150 million consoles out there. And wouldn't you know it, that's the most busted one. That's the most busted version out there. And CD Projekt Red said we won't get a hotfix until January. Good luck, kids. Oh, your mom already pre-bought it for you? Or, mom and dad already bought it. It's already wrapped underneath the tree. And they forgot about it. Most stores are not going to honor the refund policy until they're going to honor it until the 21st. Which is 9, 10, 11, 12, which is around 2 days from now. from this being recorded. I'm recording this on the 19th. So, you got 2 days to get a refund if you haven't already. Yes. Oh boy. Now, preference. I have yet to actually sit down and play Cyberpunk 2077. I have a friend who was excited from this and wanted me to do react videos to the gameplay, and all the other videos have come out since then. I did not want to do them, actually, because once I saw the first couple of videos, I thought this would be better if I went into this blind. I'm trying to wrap my brain around. So which version had the priority? Apparently it's the PC version, because that's the least problematic of them all. It still has bugs, it still has glitches, but nobody's having enough problems as they are with the PS4 and Xbox One base versions as they are as the PC versions. So, why? That's my biggest question. Is why did this happen? A lot of people were like, "Oh, CD Projekt Red was this for the consumer," and they run GOG.com, which I actually prefer over Steam, by the way. They run GOG.com. They make sure all their games are DRM free for the PC. They give you free DLC for The Witcher. They're the most PC. They're the most consumer friendly game developer. Question. How many games have they made? Witcher? Okay. Witcher 2? Okay, good one. Witcher 3 and all its expansions including Gwent. Anything else? Cyberpunk? That already right there raises a few questions. One, they're going from a third-person fantasy game, open world, to a first-person sci-fi game. Completely different genres. And from what I heard, apparently there's some footage out there. I don't know if I want to go grab it or ask permission to use it. But there's apparently footage out there of a first-person shooter T-posing. That clearly shows that they programmed the game as a third-person game and basically made the camera inside the head. And there's even more footage of the camera going wonky where you can see the eyes and the hair of your character. So there's already the first problem, is that they're making a completely different genre type of game. Now, if they did make this a third-person game, they probably would have a much smoother transition than they did going from first person. Now, I'm not saying that these games are going to be more difficult than the other, but it is a genre and style change. You go from a heavy melee combat focused to being more long range and more stealth. Again, not drastic, but just drastic enough that if all your team is used to is third-person action fantasy, and you go into first-person shooter future, it's like giving a chef who's used to cooking on the stove and telling them how to cook in the oven. Granted, over time, they'll be able to use it more efficiently, but the first couple dishes out of that thing are going to be kind of crap. And I can see it. I can honestly, fully see where all the problems were. Now, them releasing it in the state that they did was unexcusable. Unexcusable. This showed that the management just wanted this thing out to meet Christmas. That's why. That's another reason why their refund date stops on the 21st. Is because, Christmas! That's it! We're done! We're done! Money! Yeah, we got money! That's what they were hoping for. They didn't want to push us to 2021 because, think about it like this. Who remembers Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? You. Oh, everybody remembers that. Do you remember that came out this year? Yeah. It came out in the very beginning of January, like January 15th. The very beginning of 2020. Like 15th, it was in the teens. I'm going to put the date up here. And no matter where you go, that's a single player game that got a free card game update. And no matter where you go, that sucker is on sale for $25 or roundabouts. So but I bring that up to really show that's not the first time we've seen that happen. We've seen multiple RPGs or multiple first player games come out in January. They do fine. They do phenomenal. But when it comes to Christmas time rolling around, they're slashed. They are cut down. The only games that are basically blocked from getting any kind of sale around this time of year are Nintendo games. That, there's a lot of, we have it. It's full price, but it's in our sales ad. Because do you know how many times I had to deter customers from saying, well, it's in the ad, why is it not on sale? Well, it's because what I like to call a we have it or a reminder sale that yes, the game is out. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Animal Crossing New Horizon. I still need to grab that. It's not going to make the top 10 games of the year this year. So, that's all this was. They didn't care about the state of the game whatsoever. Management saw that Christmas was coming. That was probably their end game right there. They wanted this game to come out before Christmas 2020. That was their end game. They missed Christmas last year, and it nipped them in the bud really bad. But I think the reason why they were able to push it back and kind of eat up that cost was because of the Witcher TV program that premiered on Netflix. Look what happened when that premiered. Sales skyrocketed for The Witcher 3. More people were playing it then than when the game first came out. That's not only shows and says something at the exact same time. So, when sales go up, and not to mention the port for the Switch as well, came out that year. Was it 2019? Again, reminder date. Was another little bump in sales. They've been floating on The Witcher 3 since then. Granted, you can actually download The Witcher 3, not the complete edition, but like the regular edition on the Game Pass, which I kind of remind myself I need to do. So, the sales of The Witcher 3 has been kind of bumping them along, and that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense, because it wasn't until, November, December? Again, I'll put up some dates here, that they were like, hey, we got to push this stuff back. And it just, the more I think about it, the more it sounds like it. The only reason why they were able to push it back to April was because of the increased sales of Witcher. Because the money wanted to spike there for a second. So the question does remain. The only console we knew at the time for next gen, at the time that Cyberpunk was going to be initially released, that we knew about was the Xbox Series X. No, we didn't. We kind of knew about it. As in, we kind of knew about it because we knew Project Scarlet. We knew that the next generation was coming, but we didn't know what it looked like. We didn't know the stats. We didn't know nothing from it until the Game Awards that were right around the Cyberpunk was supposed to be released. So yet again, who are they developing the game for? That's the biggest question I've been seeing amongst like Review Tech USA, Spawn Wave, and a few other people I watch. What was this game being developed for? If it was being developed for the Xbox One and the PS4, mission failed, guys. Honestly. Was it for the PC? Okay. I've seen numerous times a game come out on PC, I'm going to put up some examples here, come out on PC first and take a while, but they eventually came out on console with different interfaces, but yet the interfaces still worked. One good example I can bring up right now is Five Nights at Freddy's. Strictly because Five Nights at Freddy's came out on the Switch first and then everything else. And the interface is actually pretty good. In fact, they actually upgraded it a little bit, included cheat codes and some other things to make the game a little bit easier. And that's just a little bit easier, but you can also figure out patterns. I was able to find the patterns of all three animatronics because of those cheat codes in the console port, which slightly made it easier for me in the PC port, which the PC port can be technically a little bit more difficult. So, okay, you're making it for PC, then just released it for PC. Unless you are that money-driven that you don't care about the console market. Yes, I know a PC Master Race. But there is a market for consoles. For every one PC, there's 4 to 5 console owners. Again, I repeat myself, not everybody can own a gaming PC. Especially to run a game like Cyberpunk 2077 in optimal settings. To custom build one like that, especially for a brand new game like that, is going to cost you around $800, $900. Not everybody has that right now. So, fine, okay, you wanted to build a PC game because you're more prominent as a PC base. Fine, okay, we can deal with that. Then release a PC game, get some teams together, and develop the version for the consoles later. I know. Because money. Blindside, they don't care, they'll buy it. Okay, they bought it. But now, you have both Microsoft and Sony both stating now that if you request a refund because you bought Cyberpunk 2077 and you request it before the 21st, you will get a full refund and the game will be pulled from your library. Now, when Sony says that, like I mentioned before, Sony has a draconian return policy. I had to go through it a few multiple times. But if you step on their toes enough, you can get a refund if you have the right agent that you're talking to. But they pulled it from their store. What? When I first read that when I was online, I had to double check it. I immediately went to the official PlayStation Store website, and yeah, you couldn't find it. You type in Cyberpunk 2077, it brought on like 5 icons, and one was like a steampunk icon. And I don't know, but wow. Anthem, No Man's Sky, Fallout 76. I can't think of a fourth one off the top of my head. Alien Colonial Marines. These games were bad at launch. Some of them are still bad, not including No Man's Sky. That actually got super good. And Fallout 76 is actually pretty rocking right now, too. I have a couple of friends that are playing it on PC, and they stopped playing it, and then they went back to it after the big updates dumped, and they're like, yeah, it's a much better game. And they're enjoying themselves. They're enjoying themselves so much that I want to play it now. And I pay for Game Pass Ultimate, so I can play it on, no matter what, I can play it on my phone, my TV, or my console. So, we are now at a situation where Cyberpunk 2077 got pulled, and no matter where you at, boop, there's a full refund. And I also forgot to mention, as of this recording, if you go to at least BestBuy.com, Best Buy has it on sale for $10 less. The game just came out on the 10th, and it's already on sale. And Best Buy also said that they're altering their return policy, that if you bought it before the 21st, you can do the exact same thing. No questions asked. If it's opened or not, they will give you a full refund. Nobody likes giving full refunds on open video games. Again, I work enough retail to let you know that companies do not like... They'll do exchanges all day. Because there's been multiple times where, parent who doesn't know what, little Timmy wants the new Call of Duty. Okay, gave him the Xbox. Oh, no, he has a PS4 or vice versa. That happens all the time. I just did it for Call of Duty Black Ops, where apparently I grabbed the Xbox One version instead of grabbing the Xbox Series S version. So I had to go and return it. It was already opened, but Target was like, okay, pay the upcharge and you're fine. Okay. I had to do it also because I was getting reports that the Xbox One version was breaking Series X's, and I don't want to do that to a new brand new console. So, that's all this was a money move. And they thought we weren't going to notice. A game so bad that's been hyped up for years. You didn't think we weren't going to notice? You don't think we were going to raise enough? Hi, I got a question. And mind you, okay, I'm going to bring this up too because I knew a few people that are like this, that were, as soon as the announcement trailer back in 2012 was announced, they were like, oh, Cyberpunk is going to be the best game ever. Da, 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 da. Why do you people do that? I'm just going to put this in here real quick. Why do you people do this when an announcement trailer comes out and you instantly proclaim, oh, best game ever, and you haven't seen gameplay, you don't know what the story's about, you don't know how it's going to play, how it's going to work, nothing. You just got the announcement trailer of like a flash image here, a flash image there, maybe some posing and a logo, and you're like, oh, how do you miss to best game ever, I declare. How? Why do you people do that? For like, when people were saying that about Cyberpunk 27, I went and checked out the trailer thinking, oh, there's going to be gameplay. No, there's no gameplay in there. Why? Why? And, go watch the Angry Video Game Nerds video of Ray 2020. A lot of people... He says, I might go play Cyberpunk 2077 in the year 2077 if that game sucks.
And if the new game Cyberpunk 2077 sucks, I can play that in 2077.
Nerd, at this rate, you might gonna have to review it. Oh, man. But as of right now, speaking of which, as of right now, we won't get the first big patch of it until next year, because once they pushed the game out, they went on holiday. They went on vacation. What? So, what about the testers? Was this even tested? That does explain also the flippin' reviewing process, which, again, multiple videos have covered in great more detail. That does explain why no one got consoles, because the console version wasn't ready. Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to have to... Oh my god. I don't know what to say. But I am a mediarian? Medium? Darian? Mandalorian. I don't know the name. But I try to be down the middle. So, when I eventually do get... I was eventually going to buy Cyberpunk 2077, but thanks to all the budget... Thanks to... Well, brand new budget. And the bugs and all the reports, I'm going to have to push it off. Unless someone else gets it for me. So this will definitely be a case of the more I wait, probably the better the game is. But if someone gives it to me, I'm going to play it either way. But that still raises the question. When was this game going to be ready? Clearly, as much as I hate crunch, I really do. When was this game going to be ready? Next year? Look, I don't mind if games get constantly pushed back. Look what happened to the Zelda Wii U title that eventually became Breath of the Wild. It kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and look at the game. It was a damn near perfect game. That weapon dedication. But still, there's a reason why it's still right now the top played game on my Switch with over 300 hours. It did a phenomenal job. But that's what happens if you use your time wisely when you push games back. You don't rush out games like this. I know they were money driven. I know money's a big factor in this. But at this rate of people requesting refunds? And also the other thing that's going on, the Devotion game? CD Projekt Red, you were touted as the most consumer-friendly game developer, a major game developer out there. Yes, the most friendly. But he quickly lost that crown. Trust is easy to break and hard to earn back. And as of right now, pretty much all the DLC you had planned for Cyberpunk, if you want to repair our trust, A, fix Cyberpunk 2077. I want to play this game. From what little gameplay I've seen, I've made myself watch, it looks good. I'm trying to keep myself as blind as I can to it. It looks good. I want to play it, but for you to for me to trust you again, A, roll back some of your decisions. Like, roll back the decision on the devotion game, because that looks good. And China right now is just controlling our games market a little bit too much. Another thing, pull The Witcher plus more. Not only give us like little supplemental DLC, like little itty bitty weapon packs or designer packs or all that. No. All that future DLC that you had planned, make it free. Just flat out say, hey, we fucked up. We know we fucked up. We need to earn your trust again. Free. Or make it go on, or make it, or, you know, before the first of the year, give every single retailer the okay of, like, make it $25, please, so more people can buy it. Anyway, I see this video's going on way much longer than I wanted. And now I'm gonna have to, I can't edit it down because I basically filled most of the voids. Oh boy. Anywho, I wanted to get that off of my chest. Man, this has been nothing but a disaster. I wish for the best for CD Projekt Red. From what I played from The Witcher, it's a fantastic game. From what I've seen, it's a fantastic game. But again, that's all I've made so far, and I can tell, and I've even said out loud, when you go from that to making a completely different game, there's bumps in the road. I hope for the best, and I really wish I could have played it before the end of the year. I was really hoping to put it on my top 10 games list for the year, but that's a big no for right now, especially in the broken state it's in right now. Anyway, what do you guys think? What's your take on this whole disaster that is Cyberpunk 2077? I have a few friends that are actually, they're having a few bugs, but they're having a good time. But then I have a few other friends that are just like, I can't play it, dude. I can't. Like, every 2 steps I walk through, I either get catapulted into the sky or I fall through the map. So that'd be one thing I'd be interested to see, is like when I eventually get my copy, is what kind of bugs I'm gonna get. But only time will tell when that'll happen, and that's probably going to happen next year. So until then, or until the next video, because I'm going to be pumping these things out a lot more frequently before the first of the year. That's my late Christmas gift for you guys. And speaking of which, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, have a Happy Holidays. I hope your celebrations, no matter what you are or what you celebrate, went eventful, because I know Hanukkah just wrapped up as well. And be sure to please be safe out there. Practice your social distancing, practice mask wearing, and please be safe around New Year's, because especially around here it can get kind of crazy. And I'll catch you guys later. Until the next video, I'm gone, I'm Gus, I'm out here on past tense. I'll see you guys in the next one. NT is really attention wanting the past few days. No. Oh. So you look. Say hi, Mama. Say hi to the camera. This is my cat, everybody. This is NT. She has no tail. She has no tail. She doesn't have a bobtail. Give you a nice little break from the rage. Cutie, Mama. Okay, gotta put you down, baby. Ah, Velcro. So,